Hey everyone! Today we're breaking down one of the coolest and most explosive mechanics in the Shackles of Divinity trial, the Rune Hazel. This happens multiple times throughout the fight against Valkariel in both the advanced and master versions. So sit back and relax as I'm here to walk you through it, step by step, so that you can help your team crack it with confidence. So we're going to be headed left and dropping down from the main platform here. There's a reason for that. This route takes us to the Zulkir Kezaroth, who's the most dangerous of the 3 Zulkir mini-bosses we will be facing. Follow the broken platforms down, or just jump. Your call. Just whatever you do, do not land on one of the lit up ruins. And no, that was not an invitation to find out what happens. Spoiler, it's pretty bad. Kezaroth slings fire magic and has 2 nasty tricks. A whip that can fling players off the edge if they're not careful, as you can see him use here, which thankfully no one had their toe in it, and a fireball that can knock you straight off the platform or into the ruined platforms, which is why you see me grab threat and get away from the group, so that it does not target them. Tanks should pull him away from the group and DPS just use their artifacts and burst him down fast. Once Kezaroth is down, look up. You'll see a symbol in the sky. This one's a heart, which means it belongs to the Enchantment school of magic. Keep that in mind, we'll be returning to that later. Next, we make our way toward the second Zulkir, Baalmede, who uses ice magic. Nothing too wild here, just make sure tanks grab threat to hopefully spawn the large ice circle away from the group. Speaking of which, make sure you stop moving once you're on it, unless you fancy slipping off into the abyss. Supports pop artifacts and everyone takes care while cleaning up the ads. Another sky symbol appears, this time it's a hand holding a star, which means Conjuration. That's rune number 2, baby! Our final Zulkir is Letheras. His command of lightning magic is absolute, calling down thunderbolts and electrifying the battlefield with raw, crackling power. Your artifacts might still be on cooldown from the previous 2, so just burn them down the old-fashioned way, and if they come off cooldown, feel free to pop them again. At this point, you know the drill. Look up. Oh, a symbol. This time a masked face appears. Now that one's illusion. Now we've got our full set. Enchantment, Conjuration, and Illusion. At this point, the torches next to the ruined platforms go out. That's your sign it's safe to input the combination. You will see 8 rune platforms around the central Mythallar, each with a unique symbol. Right now we need to enter a combination of 3 runes based on the 3 symbols we saw in the sky previously. To input a rune as a part of a combination, a player simply needs to stand on it. The order does not matter. Ideally, all 3 players get onto their rune platforms at the same time. Please note that if you get off and back on your rune platform, it will count as 2 inputs, which can cause the overall combination to fail. So once you're on your rune, stay on it until the others have input their runes, and beware of mobs possibly knocking you off. For this reason, I recommend the rune inputters be the 2 tanks and a healer who can heal themselves, while the rest of the group is grouped together away from where the mobs normally spawn. In this run we're lucky, all 3 needed runes are right next to each other. Easy. Once you and your group are in position, give the go ahead and step onto your runes. The moment of truth. If you all stood on the correct runes, good job. If not, boom! Everyone near the Mythallar gets launched like popcorn. We got it right here and the Mythallar glows orange. It's now time to hide. Get behind one of the magical barriers around the edge. This is your only safe spot from the incoming shockwave. Valkariel charges in and strikes the Mythallar, and if you're not behind cover when that wave goes out, you're toast. With the blast over, we head back up using the floating platforms. A glowing transmutation rune on the ground gives us the ability to jump much higher than we normally would. Just time your leaps and follow the path back up. Some advice to people who might struggle doing this part would be, don't stop holding your jump key until you're at the highest point of your jump. While you're holding your jump key, also hold the key that moves your character forward so that you're moving upwards and towards the next platform. Don't try to dodge, dash, or roll onto a platform. It will often cut off the jump ability prematurely and cause you to fail the jump. If you are just missing a jump, make sure you are jumping from the edge of each platform to the next, instead of from the middle. You could consider using the movement speed guild boon, or even chugging a fizzy brew for the extra movement speed, which could significantly help with this section. The ruined circles have nothing to do with the increased jump height. You can jump from anywhere on the platform. Mind your head when jumping up, as bonking it on the above platform could send you back down. Most importantly, try not to panic, and take your time with each jump. You're given about a minute to get to the top, so try your best to jump from one platform to the next. A great way to practice this segment if you're struggling is to queue in for the standard version of the trial. Grab at minimum one tank, one healer, and some DPS, and then just phase the boss so that you can practice the jumping bits, since there's no rune mechanic on this difficulty. Reset and repeat until you feel confident in your newfound jumping skills, young grasshopper. There are 7 jumps total, and the platforms tilt as they go up, so don't rush it. Take your time, and make sure you fully hold your jump button until you're at the peak of your jump, before moving towards the next platform. We've made it back! Rune puzzle done, team intact, and Valkariel will soon be rejoining us to continue the fight to free her from Saztam's control. Before we end, let's go over the 8 different symbols that can appear in the sky. Briefly, go over how they're related to the 8 schools of magic, and which rune they are linked to. So you might be wondering, how are you supposed to know which symbol in the sky matches which rune on the platform? Well, it's not random. Each of the 8 runes has a visual design that actually fits the school of magic it represents. Here's how to tell them apart. Conjuration appears as a hand holding a star and is connected to the horns rune. The rune has a V shape with pointed ends, almost like raised horns, or a summoning gesture. Think of it as reaching out to pull something in, just like conjuration spells. Abjuration uses a shield symbol and is connected to the fork rune. The rune has 3 prongs like a pitchfork or trident, but it also resembles a defensive structure, something that splits or redirects danger away, just like protective magic. Evocation shows a fireball and is connected to the window rune. The rune is a circle with a plus shape inside, almost like a glowing blast radiating from the center, or a stained glass window before it shatters from magical force. Transmutation shows a sun and is connected to the Towers rune. The rune has 2 tall parallel lines, like twin towers or pillars of light. And don't forget, this is the same rune we step on during the jumping puzzle, as transmutation magic enhances our abilities, thus allowing us to leap higher. Necromancy is marked with a skeleton head and is connected to the Hat rune. The rune has a curved, domed look, like the top of a skull or a shadowy hood over a necromancer's face. It's dark and iconic. Divination appears as an open eye and is connected to the pipe rune. The rune's shape looks like an old tobacco pipe, but the stem also resembles a line of sight, as in the gaze of someone who sees far and deep, like a diviner. Enchantment shows up as a heart in the sky, and it is connected to the cross rune. The rune has intersecting lines like a stylized cross or heart, fitting for magic that influences hearts and minds. Illusion shows a face in the sky and is connected to the eye rune. Illusion magic is all about what you see, or think you see. This represents the power of perception and deception. So if you ever forget which rune is which, just look at the shape. Think about what each school of magic does, and it will often make sense. The visuals aren't just pretty, they're designed to help you reason out the right answer under pressure. Or you can grab this awesome infographic my partner has put together, which I'll have linked in the description and pinned in the comments section, and then you too can call out the runes like a boss. So with all that out of the way, let's quickly recap. Defeat the 3 Zulkir, watch for the sky symbols that appear after defeating each one, match them to the runes around the Mythallar, coordinate your entry once the torches go out to activate all 3, hide behind the protective barrier, and once the explosion goes off, jump on up back to the platform. With a bit of practice, you'll be doing this like a pro. I'd like to take a moment to thank Burka and the Ashes of Anka Guild, with whom this footage has been taken with. They've been a wonderful group to run with. Also thank you Toastbing for letting me pitch this guide and sharing feedback. And of course, we cannot forget the lovely Millie for assisting me in this project, pretty much every step of the way. Your love and support is truly appreciated. Merci Azizam. If this guide has helped you, feel free to share it with your group and the other communities you are a part of. I often stream Neverwinter over at twitch.tv/Deadmano, so feel free to pop on by where I'm most likely doing the new trial, and you're more than welcome to ask any questions you might have. Good luck out there, adventurers. and I hope you have fun in the Shackles of Divinity trial. Until next time, much love and bye for now.